I am Dr. K. S. Ratnamala, head from Department of Computer Science, Sitalakshmi Ramaswamy College, Trichy. Welcome to today's session, Python programming. In the current scenario, we all know very well that Python is essential for all computer science students. In the beginning of the session, some simple programs are given to understand the syntax. The later part, Python programming with concepts of object orientation, data structure, files will be explained. Let's start the Python programming session with its features. Python programming, it is a multi-purpose language. It is used in the environment such as web, GUI, scripting, etc. It is an object-oriented, interpreted, and it supports cross-platform. It allows code isolation and it can be reused by imports. It doesn't support interface. Python program to calculate the average of numbers in a given list. So it's a simple program to understand the syntax of the Python. Now first we have to give the total number of elements. How many number of elements we are going to give? That is given in the variable n, and since all the elements are integers, here it is declared as int. So input, enter the number of elements to be inserted, int, and the total number of elements is stored in the variable n. And the array A is declared to store the elements. And for loop, similar to your C, so the syntax is same. So for I in range of 1 to n, element is the element what we are going to input. So the element integer, it's an integer element, input, enter the element. So the element is appended to the array A. All the elements are till n, number of elements up to n are appended to the array A. Now we have to calculate the average. So it's nothing but sum by total number of elements. So sum of A by n, and it is given stored in the variable average. Now we have to print it. The average of elements in the list is, and we are rounding it. So 2 decimals, average comma 2. The next program is to find the largest numbers in a list, largest number, a single number in the list. It's again the elements are in the array A. So again total, we have total number of elements. It is stored in the variable n. For loop 1 to n. So the element is inserted. It is the element is B. The what we are going to input the element is B. So now that B element is appended in the array A. For we have to sort the array first. So it is I 1 comma len of A. It's a bubble sort. We know that everybody knows, computer science student. So for j in range 1 comma len of A minus 1. So if A of j is greater than, we compare the elements. So it is a bubble sort. And finally, the largest element will be stored in the last part of the array. So we say that print the largest element is A of n. So it is the array A, last element is n. So we are printing the last element. Suppose we are going to, the question is like to find the smallest number, then we have to say A of 1, print A of 1. That's all you know that. So Python program to calculate the number of digits and letters in a string. So the string is raw input, enter string. Enters the string will be entered. Count, and I have initially 2 variables. Count 1 is equal to 0, count 2 is equal to 0. So for I in string, we check that if it is a digit, then the count 1 is incremented. Otherwise, the count 2 is getting incremented, which means it is not a digit, maybe an alphabet or a special character. So we say that finally you have to print the number of digits is, it is in count 1, and the number of characters is in count 2. Python program to swap the first and last value of a array A. So this program is given just to know the syntax of while in Python programming. So this while element is greater than 0. So we know that here the termination condition is, if you give the element 0 or less than negative value, the loop will be terminated. So until then you can enter the elements. So element is equal to int of input, enter the element, plus this is the concatenation. So plus string of x plus 1. So each and every time when you enter the element, this x is getting incremented and finally it will give you the total number of elements. So the element is stored in the variable element and it is appended to array A. It is using the statements A dot append of element. So this loop will be executed until you give a 0 or a negative value. Then after then the while ends, then we are saying that temp equals 0. So it is a first just to get the first and the last value, and then we are going to swap the values. So a of 0, that is the first value, is stored in the temp. Then the last value is stored as a first value. Then the last value becomes the temp now. So print new list. The entire array can be printed now. Print of A. So now the first and last values are getting exchanged. So you can see the program, this Python program, which gives the array A after swapping. This print command will do that. Next, Python program to create the classes. So here the class circle is defined. So and there is an initialization self radius. So self radius, the value radius is assigned to that. Apart from that, there are two functions. One is area, the other one is the perimeter. These are the functions of the class circle. Now in the main program, int input enter the radius of a circle, and the radius of a circle is stored in the variable r. Now we have to declare obj. We all know very well that it is an object-oriented program. So object, you have to create an object for this class. So obj equal to circle of r. So print this print statement itself, it will call the functions of the class. So area of circle is nothing but round of obj dot area. So this function is invoked with the parameter of 2. So once you invoke this area function, area is invoked, self dot radius. So return math.py. The pi value is obtained from the library math. So we know that it is the 3.14 the value star into self dot radius here, which is 2 power 2. So pi r square. And then print perimeter of a circle rounded off obj object dot perimeter of 2 with the value 2. So here the perimeter self dot radius. So return again 2 pi r. Math dot pi is pi and self radius is r, 2 pi r. It is a simple program, but just by knowing this, you can now know how to initialize a function in the class and how to define the other functions with the parameter and how to define an object, so that the syntax of the classes, how to create classes, is well known. Next one is the Python program through mail merge. So here, as well as the file program, files are also given, how to open the files, etc. So here with open of names.txt in the mode of R, that is read, and the file name is names.txt, encoding unified text format, it is 8-bit as names file. So the names.txt is opened as names file. Again open body.txt, or again reading, encoding unified text format as body file. So here what the program actually what it does is, a same message will be sending to so many persons, that is so many mail IDs. So the same body of the body message is attached to each and every mail ID. That is the purpose of this program. So with open body.txt, it is stored body.file, body file. Now this body file is read, the message is read, and it is stored in the variable body. Now iterate over names, because so many names or so many mail IDs are there. So those names are stored in the file names file. So now for loop is used for the iteration. For name in names file, the mail equals hello. That is before each and every mail ID, we insert a text, we insert a string hello plus the name, that is the mail ID to whom the mail should be sent, plus the body of the message. This is iterated for all the names in the names file. So the names file we have already opened in the read mode, and all the names it is there in the names file. So for all the names, the hello is prefixed hello, then to each and every mail ID with the body of the message. The body of the message is same to all the mail. So write the mails to individual files with open name.strip .text w, write it encoding unified text format 8 as mail file. So the strip is nothing but it will be erasing or removing the leading and the trailing spaces in the names. So this is return, that is the mail is written in the mail file. So the mail file dot write, that is the mail is sent. Python program to copy the contents of one file into another. So there is a file test.txt is opened as F. Another file out.txt is opened in the write mode W as F1. Now for line in F there is a for loop. So the line in F, from the file F, the contents are returned to F1 line by line. So F1 dot write of line. So there is a line read from file F, and that line is written into file F1. So there is a for loop. You can copy the contents of one file into another. It's very easy to do this file copying in this manner. Python program to print the resolution of a JPEG image file. We all know that the resolution of the image file can be found by just getting the width and height. So width into height will gives us the resolution. Now define JPEG as file name. So the file is opened, the image is opened for reading in binary mode. It's a command statement. With open file name RB, read with binary mode as image file. So height of the image is there in the position 164. That is 164 and 165. These two bytes gives the height of the image. Since it is a binary, we can reach the position by means of a seek command. So image file dot seek of 163, since it starts from 0. So this 163 and the next byte gives us the height. Read the 2 bytes. It's a command statement. A equals image file dot read of 2. 2 bytes are read from the image file, and the position 163 and 164, it is stored in the variable A. So next, it is 2 bytes are read. So these 2 bytes should be stored in as a byte. The shift left operation is done. A of 0 shift left plus A1. So this is the way to store these 2 bytes in the variable height. The next 2 bytes gives us the width. So image file read of 2 bytes. Next 2 bytes, that is 165 and 166. It is stored in the variable A. Now again, the 2 bytes which are read, it's stored in the variable width, so that the A should be stored in the variable width. The A of 0 is we are performing the shift left operation for A of 0, and A of 1 is added to that. So that with these 2 bytes are stored in the variable width. Now we have got 2 variables. One is height, another one is width. The resolution of the image is nothing but width into height. So JPEG res image1.jpg. This invokes the program. The output is resolution of the image, that is the print statement, prints it 280. Here in this program it is 2 in this image1.jpg 280 into 280. So this gives us an idea about how to open a file in the binary mode. The next program is hash function. that may normally it is used in the cryptography. So hash library we are importing, hash file name. It makes a hash, we have to make a hash object, hash library dot sha1, it is a hash algorithm, is dot sha1, it is h, returns h, it is in h, with open file name, read and binary mode as file. This is a command, loop till the end of the file. So chunk initialize, we are initializing a variable, chunk equals 0. While chunk is not equal to space, it is not equal to space, then binary space, it is B, that is why it's B. Chunk equals file dot read of 1024. Every 1024 bits are read from the file and it is stored in the variable chunk. So till we reach the empty bit or the space, this while will be continued. So it is chunk 1024 is a chunk. So each one is read and stored in the variable chunk. And finally, we are updating it by using h.update chunk. Next, we have to get the hex representation because it is in the bit format. So return h.hex digest. It is returns the equivalent hexa value. Now hash.file track1.mp3 message that returns a message. This returns a message. We now with the entire program is invoked. Now this return the hexa value h.hex digest. It is stored in the variable message. So it is print that message. We get the output. We get the output as a hexa digit. It is actually used in the cryptography. Hope you understood the concepts of Python to certain extent. Thank you.